Hi, I'm Kat, and this is Titan. And we wanted to make this video to talk about our experience with Emily's 90-day mentorship program. So, like I said, this is Titan. He is a 4-year-old American bully. And I got him when he was 8 weeks old, so I've had him for the majority of his life. And he struggles with reactivity. That was the reason we joined the mentorship program, and that's actually how I met Emily. Was I had a one-to-one with her a couple years ago because I was struggling so bad and I did not know what to do. As you can see, he's not like super big, but he's very strong. And when he was young and when he was a puppy, reactivity didn't really seem like a problem. I was also very young, and I've had family dogs my whole life, but he was the first dog I got just myself. I was still in college. I just wanted a dog and got a puppy and didn't really do a lot of research about bullies or I didn't know how to handle reactivity or anything like that. I didn't know a lot about socialization, like bare minimum, okay? So, as he grew up and got bigger and stronger, his feelings also got bigger and stronger. It got to a point when he was 2 or 3 that we were avoiding dogs at all costs, on walks and everything. He was like kind of okay with people at that point, but I didn't let him interact very much with other people. And when he turned like 2.5 or 3 was when I noticed the issues were actually pretty bad. That's when like lunging started when we were on walks. If he'd see a dog, a lot of hard staring, lunging if we were close at all, fixation and that type of stuff. But I didn't really understand what the reactivity was or where it was coming from. One day I was walking him and a dog appeared on the sidewalk near us, and he actually lunged so hard that he dragged me after him. And I just will always remember that happening and how scary it was. And I feel like that was probably like one of the final straws that I had, where I just realized I need help and I don't know what to do. So this was before I knew Emily. I joined a local dog training course that was for obedience. I think it was like a 5-week, once a week thing. And I was super scared. I brought him, and it was a class with probably 5 or 6 other dogs in one room, and they just happened to be all German Shepherds. And right away, I couldn't control him. He was lunging. He was just completely fixated, did not hear me at all. And I, trusted the professional that the class was with, and I was told he would get over it, he would get used to it, just, keep coming and keep trying, and he'll get used to it. He'll get used to the other dogs, and, it'll get easier. And after the first couple of times, I thought, okay, just try and he'll get used to it, and he did not get used to it. He definitely did not. If anything, by the end, he might have been a little like desensitized or something, but I did not see much of a difference in him. We had to stay separated like by a little fence from the rest of the group because the whole class, I know, it's okay, it's okay. The whole class, he was lunging at other dogs, fixated, didn't care that I was there. So, but we finished the course, and I hugely regret doing that. If you know anything about reactivity, you know that the more the dog is able to practice the behavior, the stronger that behavior gets. So by me putting him in that class around these other dogs and letting him fixate and react, that just made things worse. So, you know, now I know that. So we'll never do something like that again. But long story short, pretty quickly after that, okay, you are literally taking up the whole video. Pretty quickly after I found Emily and I had a one-to-one consultation with her, because another thing that we were struggling with was that I lived in an apartment building, and anytime he heard people in the hallway or in other apartments, he would bark. And I worked, and so I wouldn't be able to be home with him. And so when I was at work, he would bark when he heard people, and the apartment complex threatened to have him rehomed because they said they were getting complaints about him barking when I wasn't home. And that was another situation that I just did not know what to even do. It was very scary, obviously, because that is like a nightmare for anyone that loves their dog, to think about rehoming them. So that was originally what I talked to Emily a little bit about. And I, you know, took the advice she could give me in that hour of time to practice helping with his barking. But then this year I saw she was doing a mentorship that started in July, and I knew we would be a good fit because there were so many things that we were struggling with, and I just did not know what to do about it. So I applied and we got accepted. And since then it has just been the best experience. I would say the biggest things we were working on, we're still working on them too, is his dog reactivity, human reactivity, and the barking. So those were things that we were stuck with. It felt, I mean, just super isolating. If you have a reactive dog, you probably know the feeling. You feel like you're alone. You feel really helpless. Hopeless too, probably. Like if you've tried things to fix it and it hasn't gone well. So yeah, your world gets smaller and your dog's world gets smaller too, because you know, can't really take them everywhere you want to take them. I'm okay, I know. Or, you know, have the experiences that you want each other to have. So those were what it felt like. And as far as our relationship before the course, I would say it was just kind of confusing. You hear a lot about, you know, people saying that dogs need someone to be dominant, and you have to show them that you're the leader and they have to listen to you, and that you're the dominant one in the house. And, you know, you hear that, and it is just confusing when your dog doesn't really seem to listen to you or see you as that. And I was just in a point where it was like, he doesn't care about me. I mean, he loves me, but he doesn't care what I'm asking him to do or what I'm telling him to do. Like when he would see a dog or something, it was, I didn't exist anymore. It was just his world and his behaviors. And I didn't know how to be a leader for him. I did not know how to show him that we don't want to be reactive. And I didn't know how to help him through that, which is another reason I joined the mentorship. So now He's a big baby. He's always been one. But our relationship has really changed. I remember when we first started and I was going through one of the courses, and Emily said that a boss is someone who tells you what to do, and a leader is someone who tells you what to do and supports you in doing it. And that's just what he needed, and that's what I needed too. He just needs consistency, and he needed trust, and he needed support and help. And I needed that too, like I said. So I would say we just have a lot more trust in our relationship. I would say that I trust him more in his decisions and in his feelings about things. As hard as that can be, you know, how he feels is valid about other dogs. That's just part of who he is, and with other people too. And it's just a matter of how we work around it and how we can try to help him grow out of that fear. So, yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot because I've become much more confident in our training and in our decision making. I feel more comfortable handling situations where he might be triggered or where we might see another dog on a walk and stuff like that, because I've just learned so much about his behavior and why his behavior has been happening and what I can do to break that cycle and help him make better choices. So this mentorship has helped me a lot personally, just because I don't want to cry. It took a lot of work, okay? A lot of reflection, journaling, crying, some breakdowns, because I really just had to reflect and figure out, like, what am I doing that could be enforcing these behaviors, and what can I do better to be a leader for him and to show him what are better things we can do instead of reacting or lunging or barking. So, you know, it's definitely been a growth process for both of us. And you know, another quote that we say a lot is when you know better, you do better. I think, you know, all of us want to do better for our dogs, and we want to be the best owners we can be. And in order to do that, you have to learn what's the right thing to do, and you have to practice it. So that takes work and dedication and consistency for sure. But once you see the payoffs of it, it's all worth it. So now I want to talk about some of our progress. So he actually, when I started this video, there was someone who came in the building downstairs so we could hear the doors. He's like, "Aren't you so proud of me, Mom?" We could hear the doors opening and closing, and I mean, you could see he did not bark. I think he looked that way, but the barking thing is pretty much totally gone. The only time he barks like that is when if he hears someone actually knocking on our door, or something like that, but that usually doesn't happen. And I work still, and so I'm gone 9 hours out of the day, and you know, I have cameras and stuff, and I don't see him bark at all. So that just shows, you know, when you put in hard work and consistency and just try your best, it can really pay off. So that's a huge relief, that I don't have to worry about him barking like crazy when he hears stuff when I'm not home. And it's really all because of the advice I've gotten from Emily and from Carly, and practicing that advice, and being consistent. Another exciting thing that has happened is when we are outside, there's been multiple times, I mean probably at least 5 times now in the last few months, that he has chosen to ignore other dogs. The first time this happened, I'm pretty sure I cried, because it's just such a huge moment when you have a reactive dog. And I mean, if you know, you know. When you see another dog out on your walk or whatever, you internally probably panic because you know your dog is about to react. So that was me. That still is me a little, but you know, I just remember we were on a walk and a dog came out of nowhere and he looked at it, and I looked at him because I was like, what are you gonna do? And he came back to me for treats and continued coming back to me, and we just walked away. And since then we've had, like I said, like multiple interactions where it's been the same situation. And before the mentorship, I would avoid us seeing dogs at all costs because I didn't want him to react, which partly is the right thing to do when you're working with reactivity. But now, after practicing so much and after me learning so much and building our relationship into trust and consistency, I trust him more to make his own decision. So just the other day, we were outside training and a dog appeared, and I didn't, you know, distract him with treats so that he wouldn't even see the dog. I let him see it to see what decision he would make, and he made the right choice by choosing to engage with me after seeing the dog, and I rewarded that choice and praised him for it. And then he made that choice again. So that's just, you know, such a great feeling, because it shows that our hard work pays off. It shows that he also trusts me, and he's learning from me too, like what the right thing to do is instead of react. So that's a great feeling. And there is hope. There is hope. You know, if you had asked me a couple years ago if I thought Titan would ever do that, like ignore dogs, I would probably laugh in your face and say no. And we have our days. That's the other thing with having a reactive dog, is some days are amazing, some days are terrible. And that's another reason why I would recommend this mentorship, because like I said earlier, when you have a reactive dog, you know how isolating it can be, and just how hard it can be sometimes. And this mentorship literally gives you a community to talk about those things with. And it makes you it makes you realize that you're not alone. And these are actually things that a lot of people struggle with. And, you know, it's okay to struggle with them. And so it gives you, literally every Sunday, you have time to talk about it with a group of people who totally get it and who have been there, and know how you feel. So even just for that, like that alone, just the opportunity to talk to other dog owners and dog trainers who have been in your shoes and are going through the same thing that you're going through. I'm emotional because, you know, it's an emotional thing, but in a good way. So I would highly recommend that if you are struggling with reactivity, even if you're not struggling with reactivity, if you just want to be a better owner for your dog, I think you would still learn a lot from this mentorship. It covers everything from how to play with your dog to nutrition, to, I mean, like vet visits, like, and any questions that you have. Emily and Carly are more than willing to help you through it. So I know that was a lot. I just wanted to make sure to, you know, be open about our experience and encourage other people who might be having the same experiences that we have. So yeah, if you made it all this way, thank you for watching. Titan says thank you for watching. I hope he didn't distract you too much, but yeah, if Emily and Carly see this and anyone else in our mentorship, I love you guys. Thank you. I will never forget this experience, and I wish that I could just go through every mentorship with you guys. Good boy.